Hey S'mores, I'm Shannon Morse. Welcome to Morse Code. I do tech reviews and tutorials, so if you are looking for in-depth tech and gadget content, you've come to the right place. This year, I have had the opportunity to test and review a bunch of phones, some of which were sent to me for review, many of which I purchased myself. This video is not going to be all-encompassing for every single phone that was manufactured in 2020 because I like to speak only on products that I have actually used, so I am calling this my favorite phones of 2020, not the best phones of 2020. I am not going to be discussing the specs or intricacies of all of these different phones, so make sure to check my in-depth reviews into deep dives for each of these different products because I have done deep dives on each of them. I am going to start with the most expensive one and then work my way down to the sub $500 category. So the first one up is, obviously, it's the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G, which retails for $2,000 before trade-in. Here is mine. Yes, it is more expensive than a high-powered slim laptop, and yes, it is a bulky beast, but it is also full of productivity, and it's become my getting done portable gadget. Since it packs in this beautiful folding screen, I can take it on the go or I can easily walk around my house with it in my hand. Anytime I want to write a profound topic or for a video or schedule out my calendar blocking, for example, or just do some deep thought multitasking, the big screen, when I open it up, it is so nice for this kind of stuff. It helps me get things done. And since it packs in so much RAM and a high-end processor, it truly is really fast. Now, I do not think that the camera is super great on here on the back of it. I don't think the camera is that good compared to the Pixel and iPhone cameras. And I do still run into some janky looking apps like Instagram or compatibility issues with some of the apps. Like again, Instagram Stories freezes with the newest app update, for example, which is so annoying. So is it my favorite of the year? Well, it's the most expensive, but it's not my favorite of the year. It is my favorite productivity tool, but it's not my favorite phone. Hopefully that makes sense. Now the next one is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It is so weird to me that I am including an iOS device on my favorites of the year list because, well, there's still so much about iOS that just makes me feel confined or limited. I just don't like feeling that way. Of course, that walled garden also creates safety for a consumer, but as a hacker, it feels confining and kind of constricting. Even so, Apple has perfected the art of creating easy-to-use consumer devices, and the iPhone 12 is no different. So for me, the iPhone 12 Pro Max at $1,100 easily is one of the best phones of the year. It includes the specs that I would expect for that price point, like Qi charging, waterproofing is included, there's an excellent screen, fast processing. That's another thing. Waterproofing is not in the Galaxy Z Fold 2, so keep that in mind. And it includes one of my favorite smartphone cameras of the year, and by far the best battery life that I have tested of all of the different phones that I've checked out this year. If this hardware ran on Android, I would be 100% sold. For sure. I would say that I'm like 75% sold. Yes, I would like to have, for example, I would love if this had a 120 hertz screen. And yes, it would be really great if they switched fully to USB-C instead of this stupid freaking lightning port. And yes, how cool would it be if I could charge this phone on a third-party wireless Qi charger as fast as my Samsung phone charges on the same charger? But if you don't need fast charging with wireless, maybe you don't care about Android or you're coming from iOS already, then yeah, the 12 models in general are a very, very good buy. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max has been one of my favorite phones of the year. I might even start using this every day. And that is so weird for me to say. I know. All right, so next up, I could have included the first phone I purchased this year, which was the S20 Plus, but I went with the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, or Fan Edition, Why? Well, mainly because of cost. This is a $700 phone that, quite frankly, is a flagship. Now, no, this one does not include the faster charger that you get with the main S20s, and it does have a plastic back on it, but it is 5G, and it's got the same, sometimes even better, cameras, like on the back right here, than some of the other S20s. And it has a 120 hertz screen, which is so nice to use. It's a beautifully crisp display. I love the display, and it does pack in a really solid performance for the internal specs that you get. You make very, very few sacrifices if considering this against an S20 Plus, for example, but you do save a few $100s. So to me personally, saving a few $100s equated to like a car payment, and that is important. So this ends up being my, I want all of the specs of an Android flagship phone, but I don't want to pay top dollar choice. Now lastly, if you are on a budget, I would say the Google Pixel 4a 5G is an excellent choice. It costs $499, so it's less than $500 before tax, and it packs in two cameras on the back, which are the same ones as the Pixel 5. Now this one gives you really great portrait photos. It's one of my favorite portrait phones coming from Android. It does have a little less RAM and battery, but still, excellent specs for the price. There is not any water resistance and no wireless charging, but it does have a headphone jack up at the top, and that is so cool. To me, the Pixel line has two major, incredibly important factors that I am always drawn to. First is hardware security, aka you get the Titan M security chip built into this phone. Second is vanilla Android. Since it's straight from Google, you're the first one to get all the major Android updates. And Pixel phones always have all of the features of Android built in. So you get things like Hold for Me, Live Transcribe, built-in screen recording now is included, which is, oh my gosh, I have been waiting for built-in screen recording forever. There's night sight lenses, amazing portrait photography like I had mentioned. Android has new conversation bubbles that you can use on here. You get to experience the newest in Android innovation first with Pixel phones. So they are always one of my first considerations whenever I choose my daily driver. Now, while I don't have the privilege of trying out every single phone on the market every single year, I feel confident with the choices that I made from my favorites because they are based on my own true experiences, not any kind of specs that I read online. I actually deep dive into each of these and I try to figure out what is wrong with them, what is great about them, and what they are missing. I love each of these phones for different reasons, though I will say, I don't think that any phone this year was perfect. There were nitpicky reasons why I can't look at any of these phones and say this is my only phone, but I am excited to see what comes out next year because every single time we see new innovations. I want to know what phones make your own list of favorites for the year. Comment below and let me know what you would choose. Check out my Patreon and my Buy Me a Coffee links to see how you can support this channel, and I do want to thank everybody that does choose to support this channel through those ways. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Thank you to my s'mores, you're amazing. I'm Shannon Morris, and I will see you soon. Bye y'all.